cold and stone. For meantime.
Muddy Waters' mannish boy, my castaway's sixth choice. So, Charles Paris, we're going to abandon you alone on this island. How do you think you'll manage?
Well, in 1979, I spent a night trapped inside a Dalek with only a half bottle of Bell's and a Ginster's pasty. A desert island ought to be a walk in the park.
According to your wife, you fancy yourself as a bit of a chef.
Well, I'm more of an experimental cook.
OK, Chucky.
Chucky?
Let's see what you can do with this.
A fish?
Experiment the ass off that, baby.
Oh, your researcher said 6 records, a book and a luxury. There was nothing about cooking.
Oh, it's a BBC rebrand. Desert Island Master Chef does I'm a Celebrity. You've got to fillet a sea bass while reciting Tudor verse underwater in a tank full of live critics.
No, I need to speak to my agent.
Me too. Call yourself a celebrity. I've never heard of you. In you go! Charles! Charles!
What's going on?
How many times have I told you not to drink in the bar?
I must have nodded off.
I could see a miniature bobbing in the bubbles. Now you force me into Julian and Sandy territory.
You wear it well, and the miniature's all I could find. Cut me some slack, Francis. It's been a long day.
For me? What exactly have you done since 8 o'clock this morning?
I had a casting for a new Tracy Mims play.
Oh, yeah, that's so you.
She's award-winning.
Who isn't?
Such cynicism.
Have you seen any of her stuff?
Not actually.
I saw Flayed at the Shoreditch Gasworks. 3 joyless hours of teenage angst.
Morris wants to expose me to a new generation.
That's generally frowned upon. What's the play?
It's not a play as such.
Oh, God.
Traditional plays are linear and dead, so there's no conventional narrative.
Of course not.
Or plot or dialogue.
Characters?
Not as such. Mims doesn't serve it up on a plate. Her audience has to work.
Like a restaurant where you make your own dinner. Jokes?
Absolutely none.
You surprise me.
But there's a lot of explicit violence.
You need something to discuss over your post-theatre sushi, providing you can keep it down.
Morris says it'll reboot my career.
I hope you and your career are very happy together, but I've had a long day at the coalface of education, so I could do with a little me time.
How about I shift up and you could join me for some us time?
Bath with Charles or pointless celebrities. Bung some mole killer on the grousey.
Trouble. What's the trouble with me?
I usually discover I haven't got a part when I see someone else playing it. But this time, the call from my agent came quickly during a nail-biting episode of Call You and Yours. Charles Paris, International Man of Mystery.
The only mystery about you is a functioning liver.
Do you know who I am?
Why, don't you? Is it time to tie a label round your neck?
You're talking to one of the finest lesser-known actors of my generation.
Try unknown.
I could have been a contender.
A bartender.
If you'd handled my career more carefully.
Oh, don't lay the blame at my door. I've kept a file of your unprofessional misdemeanours. Pop round, we can rake over the ashes.
Why did you ring, Morris? And it had better be good, because Winifred Robinson's playing hardball with a manufacturer of potentially lethal bedroom slippers.
Look, how's your flexibility on a scale from touching your toes to mobility scooter?
Oi!
Thing is, Tracy Mims wonders if you're really suited to physical theatre.
I can hold my own.
If only that's all you had to do.
Just say I'm in good shape.
I did. Sadly, she'd already met you. They've gone with a trapeze artist from the Chinese State Circus.
Damn. Every play I've seen lately is dancing and prancing.
I told you to do a course in circus skills.
I'm an actor, not a bloody acrobat. What happened to dialogue? No one talks anymore.
Oh, words are old school. Physical theatre's international. No talkie, no translatey. Movements the lingua franca do no sure, capiche?
I don't speak Italian, French or choreography. Is there nothing suited to my skill set?
Drinking?
Acting, preferably sitting down in a well-cut lounge suit.
There's only so much Rattigan they can revive. Hold your nerve, boy chick. Something will come up.
A standard response I'd heard 1,000 times from the parasitic tapeworm I laughingly call my agent. This time, however, he was true to his word.
Are you in there, Gordon?
Ready and waiting. And as one theatrical door closed, another opened.
It's pitch dark in here.
40 years after its first outing, I found myself rehearsing a revival of a hit 70s farce, One Door Closes.
Why are the lights out?
That's for you to find out.
Are you decent?
Rarely, but that's my appeal.
Someone's very sure of himself.
I thought you liked my indecency. Now come here, you sexy minx.
Oh, Gordon.
Caroline! I thought you said Brian was out for the evening.
Is. Well, he was. Quick, in here.
Caroline?
Just coming.
Caroline!
Stay in there.
My
trousers?
Here.
Why are the lights out?
Oh, that's for you to find out, darling.
And that was me hidden in Caroline's ensuite for the next 20 minutes, which was ample time to nip outside for a quick gasper. Maurice Skellen's #1 client.
I'm sorry, I must have dialed the wrong number.
Why do I play along with you?
Masochism, self-loathing. Stop me if I'm getting warm.
If you are, it's the male menopause.
Speak for yourself.
Fun as this is, I'm supposed to be lurking in Caroline's ensuite.
Oh, genuine 1970s innuendo. Vintage is so on trend.
Cut to the chase, Morris.
Cast your mind back 1,000 years to English by radio on the World Service Rep.
Oh, happy days. I would like a room, please. Would you like a room with a bath? Yes, I would like a room with a bath.
And now, nation speaks peace unto nation with the voice of Charles Paris.
Cool.
Well, one of your ex-World Service mates is recording an audiobook, and bizarrely, he's asked for you. Name's Mark Lear?
That's a blast from the past.
I said you're rehearsing, but he's happy to work round you. The money's good if you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
That's what I told him. Studio next Saturday.
What kind of audiobook? Morris. Morris? Work-wise, everything in the garden was rosy, apart from the fact that I'd completely forgotten how physically demanding and potentially dangerous Farce can be.
Are you in the closet, Gordon?
Have you been talking to my wife?
Come out of there.
What about Brian?
Never mind, Brian.
Caroline!
Quick, back in the closet.
Oh! Is my jacket back from the cleaners?
Oh, which jacket?
Dogtooth check. Maybe it's in the closet.
No. I put it in the bathroom.
Why on earth would you do that?
Jacket.
Which one?
Check.
Here.
No, not Prince of Wales check. Dogtooth check. Give it here.
Snatch. It's not in here.
Back inside.
Ow! It wasn't in the bathroom.
Found it.
Oh, God.
Are you all right in there, Charles?
Oh, no. Oh.
Due to a heavy lunch, my retreat was slower than Susie's door slam.
Bleeding.
I managed to convince stage management that a nosebleed didn't require A&E. Then Tony Delaunay, our ever-attentive company manager, ushered me into the nearest pub for a recuperative stiff drink or four.
Another large scotch.
Cheers.
You sure you're okay?
Don't worry, I won't sue.
It's not that.
It's that.
Okay, there's a bit of that.
You expect some accidents rehearsing Farce. I'm sure I won't be the last casualty.
Oh, God forbid.
You've got my blood on your jacket.
Oh, damn.
I'll pay for the cleaning, unless you can claim it back from the company.
If they could work out a way of staging this without actors, you'd all be out of work. The whole production's run on a shoestring, and that's frayed. Why do you think they hired me?
Tony Delaunay's reputation as the dependable Mr. Fix-It was legendary. He also loved theatre and theatre people, which was great. It also meant that tight-fisted producers could take advantage of his dedication.
Anyway, a dry cleaning bill's the least of my problems.
Well, what else?
Firstly, advance ticket sales aren't great.
Publicity will fix that.
What publicity? There's no budget.
Word of mouth?
Well, the words have got to be good, and the way rehearsals are going, I shouldn't have said that.
There's a way to go, but it's a strong cast.
It's not the cast I'm worrying about, it's the director. I shouldn't have said that either.
Dave Girton's directing method was so laid back he was practically comatose. He'd also been doing a lot of TV where he could rely on other people to cover for him.
If you're going to revive an old chestnut like this, you need a director who can drag it kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Ignore me. You're right. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Room for a little one? Oh, you shove up.
With a voice for every occasion, Susie Stone was my on-stage lover and an all-round comedy stalwart.
Oh, is that a pistol in your pocket?
It's my phone. It was actually a half bottle of scotch.
So, what's the goss?
No gossip.
Wait till I get a few more drinks inside you. Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy night.
Performers who are always on are fun for the first half hour, but you don't want to get stuck in a lift with one, or, for that matter, squeezed next to them on a pub banquette.
No Bernard tonight?
Charity do.
Oh, bless. He does a lot of that sort of thing.
A cynic might say that Bernard Walton OBE was also angling for a knighthood. The cynic in question now sidled up to our table.
Hello, gang. How are we doing? I'd offer to buy you around, but you all seem to be topped up.
No, thanks, Freddie.
I'm fine.
All right, next time.
For 30 years, Freddie George had cornered the market in vicars and silly asses. His innate comic timing was much admired, unlike his gift for arriving at precisely the moment a round had been bought.
No, Bernard?
Charity do.
Oh, he's awfully good like that. Never lets up.
He likes to put something back.
Well, he can afford to. He's got the profile.
Not just profile.
I didn't mean no.
He's very committed.
Well, absolutely.
Does a lot for charity.
Absolutely. And he's marvellous with the people, God love him. And they love him back.
National treasure.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Hates it.
I wouldn't mind being a national treasure.
You are to us.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, there she is. Over here, Pippa.
Oh, great.
The youngest member of our cast waved a hand distractedly in our general direction without pausing her phone call for a second. Better make some room for her.
She's young. She can stand, providing her Bambi legs don't give way.
As far as I knew, Susie's hostility arose solely from the fact that Pippa had the audacity to be 22 and a size 8. Someone ought to buy her a drink.
Excuse I, call of nature.
Bang on cue, Freddie and his wallet were gone.
I'll see what she wants.
I'm sure she can buy her own. It's not good for her.
What?
Men falling over backwards every time she bats an eyelid.
I'm not.
Only because I've got you squeezed into a corner and you can't escape.
Why would I want to when I've got such good company?
Oh, Charlie Paris, ever the charmer.
I know, I just...
Hey, if it works, don't knock it, and it certainly works on me.
Pippa's had to go.
Shame.
Our American agent needs her to do a video casting.
Fantastic.
The evening ground on, and when Freddie and Tony peeled off, I was last man sitting with an increasingly drunk Susie, about to find out what the always-on performer was like when she was off.
It's all right, Charles. You can go if you like.
It's not a matter of like, but I'm recording an audiobook tomorrow, so...
Oh, lucky you.
It's not that, but I have got an early start.
You go. Don't worry about me. I'm a big girl. I can get my cell phone. I'll just go... Oh!
Okay, let's get you out of here.
Thank you, kind sir.
Which is how I ended up at Susie's flat in Catford, with no motive other than doing a good deed in a bad world.
Tea, coffee, herbal infusion, or I've got some wine here somewhere if you fancy carrying on where we left off.
Really, Susie, I just wanted to make sure you got home all right, and now I have. I'd better...
I'm sorry.
What for?
Well, I know I can be a bit full on.
No.
You're very nice.
Not really.
You are. You're lovely. You've just got one problem.
If only.
You're a good listener.
Oh, could I quote you on that?
I've known a lot of men, but not one of them ever listens. Talk? Yes, they all talk. They love the sound of their own voices, but you actually listen. It's a rare and precious gift.
Yeah. Will you be okay now?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be more than fine. I'll be mag-bloody-nificent. I will see you to the door, as they say in drawing room comedy. Oh, what? Oh, stop!
Steady.
Oh, dear. Careful, Susie. Always been clumsy. Now I'll bid you good night, sweet prince, with a parting kiss.
Susie, mind... Oh, my back. Oh, Susie. Susie? Oh. Yeah? Oh, my head.
So you are alive.
Oh, well, let me get back to you on that.
Saturday morning and no smoke alarms from the kitchen. I thought I ought to check you were breathing.
Hey, baby, does this mean you care?
Don't get carried away, and I'm not your baby. Where are you?
That is a very good question. Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Last time I heard that sound, you'd popped into the colony room and woken up in Tangier.
I brought you back a lovely scarf.
Not the only thing you brought back.
Well, I'm not in Tangier now. I'm in Catford.
Ah, the Tangier of South London.
There's an actress.
When isn't there?
She was drunk.
When aren't they?
Not fun drunk, needy drunk. I was worried about her, so I offered to take her home.
One thing led to another.
It's my own fault.
When isn't it?
I'm a good listener.
Since when?
10 to 9.
What?
It's 10 to 9. I've got to get out of here. Not wanting to submit myself to the vagaries of London transport, I put my life savings in the hands of a cabbie. There's 50 quid. Keep the change.
Cheers. Be lucky. You tired of breathing? I'll have your badge, maniac!
The lycra-clad cyclist bounced the curb missing me by an inch.
Charles!
Is that Mark under the helmet and high vis?
Can't take any chances with nutters like that on the road. Great to see you after all this time. Come in.
When did you leave the BBC?
About the same time I left Gina.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wasn't your fault.
No.
Was it?
No.
Joke, Charles.
I knew that.
All ancient history now.
Is this an English teaching thing?
No, didn't your agent send you a script?
No.
Oh, not to worry. Come through to the booth. Charles. Lisa.
We have met a long time ago, but...
Say the verb English by radio.
Wow, good memory.
You were the studio manager.
That's where we met.
That's where we all met.
I used to get polite letters from all over the world asking how to pronounce English, like Charles.
That's a great voice.
Well.
It is.
It's Lisa's idea to book you. She says you've got a sexy timbre.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Very sexy.
Shall I leave you two alone?
Nice little setup you've got here.
Bee was getting so corporate. It was time for me to set up on my own.
Our own.
Our own? The one thing I miss is the World Service Club.
Where nations slurred drunkenly unto nation.
Alas, all gone. Happy days.
Hungover days.
Lisa's a Puritan.
Unlike Mark, who needs no excuse to find a bar. Should we crack on? Have you got a script, Charles? Mark?
I'm sure I sent it to his agent.
You're sure, or you did?
I did, I think. I'm sure.
I give you one job. Sorry, Charles. It was an important thing, so I should have done it myself.
Charles is a pro. Nothing phases one take Paris.
While Lisa got technical, Mark took One Take Paris through to a studio smaller than Francis's under-stair cupboard. Very bijou.
Small, but perfectly formed. Listen. How's that for a dead room?
Negative in most contexts. Dead is just what you want in a studio. No echo, no resonance, just flat.
Only problem is the aircon's on the blink.
It is a bit airless.
Did you phone the engineers, Mark?
Haven't had time. Oh, and if you're down here on your own, keep a wedge under the door. Haven't had time to phone the locksmith and only works from the outside.
Do I have to do everything?
I have had one or two other things to do, Lisa.
Fine. It's fine. I'll add it to my ever-growing list of jobs I asked Mark to do, along with drumming up studio bookings so we don't go bankrupt.
Bookings have been a bit thin lately. Anyway, if it gets really hot in here...
I can always pop my jacket off.
I'll prop the door open between takes. Circulate some air.
Right. Well, let's have a look at this script. Albert, The Secret Confessions of a Gentleman's Gentleman. Penned by Anonymous, that prolific author of erotica, the book was a conveniently out-of-copyright collection of smut, recounted by an Edwardian valet known simply as Albert. Think 50 Shades of Downton. I suspected it was actually written by a committee of freelance pornographers on a trading estate in Staines. One hot summer's evening, alone in my master's private apartment, I was surprised by the appearance of her ladyship. "My maid has the quinsy," said she. "Won't you help me with my stays?" However green was this valet, Albert was quickly exposed to the loose morals and looser corsetry of the aristocracy. Never had I espied such dainties as those of Lady Wackham at her boudoir, nor did she make any attempt to conceal her beauties from my gaze. Albert did a lot of espying. "You seem troubled, Albert. Have you never seen a lady en déshabillé?" After a fair bit of espying, the nocturnal comings and goings of the gentry, young Albert soon finds himself huffing and puffing with the toffs. Her ladyship disported herself with a wantonness, and could see that my manhood was piqued. Oh, dear.
You're right in there.
Yeah, sorry. It's incredibly airless. I feel a bit woozy.
Lisa's coming through with some water.
All right.
Here.
Ah.
Wow. It is hot.
I kicked my shoes off and I'm down to shirt sleeves, but there's nowhere else to go.
Well, we can't have Albert disporting his gentleman's undergarments.
Is there anywhere I could charge my phone in here?
There are no mains points in here. I'll charge it for you in the booth.
Thanks.
Wedge the door open while I reset in here, then we'll go for one more take before we pack up.
Right. Another hour of corset-loosening, chemise rustling, crockery and headboard rattling, and then Mark called time.
You look flushed.
It was getting a bit Apollo 13 in there. I thought I was going to have to cobble together a carbon dioxide filter from a water bottle and a pair of socks.
You need a good lungful of London's finest particulates.
We'll send you a copy via your agent.
Send it to me directly. If Morris gets his hands on this, I'll never hear the end of it.
If you fancy doing any more...
Always up for a bit of Edwardian erotica.
We'll see what we can do. Now, I could do with a drink.
What about the aircon engineers?
They won't be there now.
You know, they've invented these voice message things.
I could go ahead and get around it.
I don't want to leave Lisa in the lurch.
Again.
I'll stay.
Oh, go to the pub.
My hostility Geiger counter was bleeping. It was a passive-aggressive couples routine I'd seen played out many times. Who am I kidding? I'd played it myself with Francis.
I'll stay here with you.
Just go.
No.
Go for a drink before I change my mind.
Well, if you're sure.
Go.
You're a star. See you at home.
See you at home? I knew there was more to Mark and Lisa's bickering than work and erotic audiobooks.
There you go. 2 more doubles. Spicy nuts on the side.
Cheers. And if Lisa comes in, they're all yours. She's all about clean eating, whatever the hell that is. I go along with it for a quiet life.
How long have you two been together?
Remember my ex back in the day?
Gina.
Well, things weren't going well at home. Lisa was a good shoulder to cry on.
One thing led to another.
You hum the tune, I'll sing the lyrics. Weren't you going through a tricky patch back then?
I've been going through a tricky patch since I was 16.
You managed to work things out?
Well, once I accepted the Stones were never going to replace Mick with me.
I mean with Francis.
Oh, depends on what you mean by work things out. Some years ago, I blew up my flat. Huh? It's a long story, don't ask. Anyway, Francis took pity on me and let me move back in as a lodger, and then I forgot to leave, and she forgot to ask me to.
Sounds like a good arrangement.
I don't know if she'd agree.
And you're doing all right work-wise? Morris says you're rehearsing a farce?
Directed by another ex-BBC staffer, Dave Girton.
Lazy Dave?
You knew him?
A bit. Held the record for the longest lunch break. Went into Sheiky's in November, reappeared the following May.
Different times.
Different world. So he's jumped ship, has he?
He keeps a foot in both camps.
They all say that.
After this theatre gig, he's doing a new teleseries.
Chummy bastard.
Yeah.
What a good things happen to bad people.
Well, I wouldn't call him bad.
Another public schoolboy with a misplaced sense of entitlement getting away with murder. The tales I could tell. You heard what happened when he got caught fiddling his expensive.
What?
Precisely nothing, that's what. A rap over the knuckles, don't do it again, old boy. It's all going in the book.
You're writing a book?
And what? Lift the lid on the media worms. So who's in the show, yours?
Bernard Walton.
Sir Bernard?
Not yet.
Matter of time, he'll bring in the coach parties.
Freddie George?
Didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't lend him any cash.
Yeah.
Oh. Lisa's on the warpath. Sorry, Charles. Another time.
But don't forget your nuts.
Enjoy.
I slept most of Sunday, ready for an early start on Monday, but arriving at rehearsals, I discovered a state of chaos.
What do you mean a migraine?
Morning, all.
How bad is it?
What's up?
We don't seem to have a director.
Dave's thrown a sickie and Tony's having a minor meltdown.
Remind me to stand clear of a major one.
Think I'll join Bernard for a cup of tea.
No.
Did you make your thing?
Thing?
Your audio thing, the other morning, when you stayed over.
Oh, hardly stayed over.
What would you call spending the night at mine? And thanks for being so sweet, by the way.
Sweet? Was I sweet?
I think you were. Putting me to bed.
Did I?
Well, somebody did.
I think that was you.
I'd have made you breakfast.
I'm not a breakfast guy.
You've never had my breakfast. Next time.
Oh.
OK, people, sorry about that. Where is everyone?
Freddie and Bernard have gone for tea.
Pippa?
Late again?
She's here. I saw her on my way in making a call.
When isn't she?
All right, you two may as well get a coffee while I sort out a few things.
Anyone fancy a posh one round the corner?
No, thanks.
I'm good.
Not what I hear.
Oh, you've made a big impression there.
Apparently, I'm a good listener, but it looks like you've got bigger problems.
Yeah, the size of a planet. Dave's off with a migraine.
You don't believe him?
We live in the age of fake news.
You think Dave's migraine is an alternative fact?
One thing's for sure. We desperately need to drum up some decent publicity, but everything I suggest is too expensive.
How desperate?
Seriously. Why?
I've just had an idea.
Charles, I'm just editing your Randy Valet.
How's it sound?
Surprisingly sexy.
Ah, good. Listen, I might be able to put a booking your way.
Oh, anything, please.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, I secured a gig for Lisa and Mark and a cheap deal for Tony's stingy producers.
Only thing is, I'm out of town for a few days.
Mark's a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he'll be fine.
I stayed late and helped Tony write a promo featuring me, Susie and Freddie on the grounds that 3 voices would be enough in a short ad. Bernard was glad of a lie-in and Pippa was happy to make a film casting. It takes a drinker to know a drinker, and Mark had either been on an all-nighter or started early.
Where are my glasses?
Mark, do you know Freddie?
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure.
I am. We did some work with Bernard Walton.
Did we? I'm sure you're right.
Definitely a few jobs, probably not worthy of the CV.
Excuse me a minute. Got a mo, Tony?
Where are my glasses?
I came straight from the physio and had to get a cab. Can I give you the receipt?
Your physio?
Yes! Thanks.
Do you know Susie?
Oh, I know your work.
This one I like already.
I'm trying to remember if we worked together.
Strictly speaking, I only saw the physio because I hurt my back during rehearsals.
Yeah, can we talk about this later, Freddie?
No.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Delaunay.
Yes?
Another familiar face from my misspent youth.
I'm sorry, you'll have to...
Don't worry, we're all young and needed the money. Is Bernard coming?
No.
Shame. We could have got the old band back together. Right. Can I offer anyone a drink? Tea? Coffee? Tequila slammer?
Drinkers think they're hilarious when nobody else does, and now I understood Lisa's concern. On his own, Mark was a loose cannon, and this morning, the cannon was loaded.
As our director's off, we're a bit pushed for rehearsal time, so maybe we could...
Lazy Dave not coming?
He's got a migraine.
The old migraine.
Do you know Dave?
Oh, I know Dave all right.
Mark knew Dave at the BBC.
I know where the bodies are buried.
Bodies?
My brains are who's doing who of showbiz scandal. And one of these days, it's all going in the memoir.
In the meantime, we should crack on.
Absolutely. This way to the studio, ladies and gents. Our positions are about right. Just take one step closer to the mic.
Ow!
Sorry.
Could you get your elbow out of my ribs?
I'll try my best.
While Mark adjusted the mic stand, I peered through the triple glazing at Tony on the phone in the soundproofed booth.
Right.
It's a bit stuffy here.
Sorry, aircon's on the blink.
Doesn't anyone else think it's hot?
Some like it hot.
Right, I think we're about ready, so I'll pop through and we'll do a quick check for levels.
Right.
Can you hear me in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I've just had some shocking news. Dave Girton has passed.
Past what?
Bad taste.
What?
Passed away, Freddie. He's dead.
I've never seen the point in theatrical superstitions, but when I told Tony I wouldn't be the last casualty of the show, maybe I had tempted fate.
In episode 1 of Charles Paris, Charles was played by Bill Nye, Frances by Suzanne Burden, and Morris by John Glover. Susie was Jan Ravens, Freddie, Philip Bretherton, Tony, Clive Hayward, Mark, Rupert Holiday-Evans, Lisa, Isabella Inchbald, and the cabbie, David Reeks. Dead Room Farce was written by Jeremy Front, based on a novel by Simon Brett. The director was Sally Avens.
The previous day, I'd been recording a cast radio promo for a theatre revival of the 70s farce One Door Closes. It was bad enough that Mark, the audio producer, was drunk in charge of a studio. Then came the shocking news that Dave, the show's director, had unexpectedly died. Or, as the company manager euphemistically said, passed.
Give me the phone.
God in heaven.
Give it to me.
I thought I was being mugged in my own kitchen.
My kitchen, actually.
Why are you dressed like a neon Darth Vader?
It's an anti-pollution cycling mask. And if you don't stop playing ringtones, no court in the land will blame me for beating you to death.
What, with a bicycle pump?
The damage I could inflict with a bicycle pump, you don't want to know.
No, I don't. Although I'm digging the look you're rocking.
I don't rock a look.
Oh, you rock, lady, you rock. And what you're rocking is a cool futuristic space android vibe.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm saying I only have eyes for you.
Bloodshot and short-sighted.
I can't help my eyesight.
If only teenage Charles had listened to his mother. Why are you still here?
Why indeed? Are any of us here?
I mean here, in my kitchen, messing around with your phone.
Did you know you can download vintage novelty pop song ringtones?
Perfect for receiving bad news.
Killjoy.
Shouldn't you be rehearsing?
Well, everything's up in the air since Dave passed. Doesn't that fatuous euphemism drive you mad?
I wouldn't say mad.
It drives me to distraction.
What doesn't?
Passed over was twee enough. What's wrong with died? My husband passed in the night sounds like an unscheduled bowel movement.
Your director's dead and you're fulminating about the language used to tell you.
I'm a Radio 4 listener. That's the way we roll. And someone's demise is no excuse for infantilizing the language. I want it on the record, and this is an executive order.
Yes, Mr. President.
When I die, I don't want any pussyfooting. Just tell people I'm dead.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. You got all the best words, sir.
I've got all the words, all the bigly words, and past isn't one of them.
Does this mean you're going to be sitting around the house all day, annoying the hell out of me and waiting for the phone to ring?
I'm not a waiter. I'm a doer.
You should put that on a T-shirt.
I read it off a T-shirt, worn, ironically, by a waiter.
So, what's the doer doing today?
There's a meeting about the show this afternoon, and in case I need a plan B, I'm going to give Morris a ring after breakfast.
Good. Well, I'm off to the gym. Help yourself to goji berry granola.
Scrummy. But I'd heard about a new hot damn soul food cafe serving a chilly breakfast off the Scoville scale.
There you go, my friend. Beef cutlets braised in our super spicy Creole gravy with grits, 2 fried eggs, and a cream biscuit.
Got any chili sauce?
How extra?
Try me.
That's fighting talk.
Fighting's my middle name.
Really?
More of a lover. In my head, that sounded cooler than when I said it.
You don't need cool, you need hot. Mama's Gree special sauce coming up.
While I waited for Mama's Gree special sauce, I decided it was time to activate Plan B.
You've reached the voicemail of Morris Skellern.
Although insecurity is endemic in my profession, self-preservation instinctively kicks in, and when it does, there's only one person to call.
You've reached the voicemail of Morris Skellern.
Of course, like most actors, I'm self-deluding enough to live in the misguided belief that my agent has my best interests at heart.
You've reached the voicemail of...
Then again, a definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Mama's Gree special sauce for Mr. Fighting's my middle name.
Let the good times roll.
Did that also sound cooler in your head?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh, Mama. Fired up and fueled, I abandoned the phone and decided on a course of direct action.
Actually, I'm so over Vietnamese street food after a bad experience with some pho last week. 24 hours. Swear to God, I was turning inside out. Nah, not really in an Ethiopian mood.
When you finished?
Ugh, there's an old guy here giving me evils. Yeah, one moment. What about Peruvian? ID said it's the new Mexican. Yeah, 7's good for me. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool, yeah. Yes, hello.
What? Oh, who? Me?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Only I don't want to get in the way of your social life.
I don't do sarcasm.
You should. The oldie said it's the new passive-aggressive.
See, that's wasted on me.
I'd like to see Morris.
Morris?
Skellern? Morris Skellern, name's on the door. The Morris Skellern Agency? Yes? No? The old guy who pays you to arrange your social life in company time.
Yeah, I'm an intern. Oh, hiya, Sophie. Yeah, it's Sophie. Safe in reception. Yeah, look, there's a guy here. No, I can't tonight. Yeah, there's a guy here. I'm going Peruvian with Lucy and Cassie and Izzy.
For God's
So
sake.
there's a guy who wants to see another guy, and I think the guy he wants to see might be the one you look after. No, old, shouty, wanders around looking grumpy.
His name's Morris.
Oh, now this one's gone shouty. Yeah, you know, fake tan, badly dyed hair. Yeah.
Morris!
You've spent billions developing tiny microphones, so you don't have to bellow.
I've got good reason to bellow.
Sophie said you left a message?
Upstairs Sophie or reception Sophie, and for your information, I left several messages.
You sound stressed.
Really?
I'm hearing unbalanced chat.
It comes from having an agent who never gets back to me.
I've been in New York.
Thanks for telling me.
What are you, my mother? And I'm getting back to you now.
Yeah, well, I'm standing in your reception.
I know you are.
Holy... You nearly gave me a heart attack. Where'd you come from?
The gents.
You phoned me from the lavatory.
I live a time-poor life.
This is him, by the way. Old guy, shouty, wanders around looking grumpy.
How dare you?
I'm quoting her.
How dare she? Young lady, you're fired.
Yeah, I'm an intern.
Consider yourself disinterned.
Can I make one last call to my mother? She audits your accounts.
Oh, don't think you're getting a lunch break. Come on, Charles, I'll treat you to a cuppa.
You phoned me from the lavatory.
Don't take this personally, but you look like death warmed up.
How could I possibly take that personally?
Do you eat anything apart from bar snacks?
Have you been talking to Francis?
There you go, guys. 2 green matcha teas.
Ah, yummy.
Seriously?
Full of antioxidants.
I'm pro-oxidants. I marched for them in 1970. Beardy boy left a brush on the side. Do I drink it or shave with it?
It's a chasen.
I thought that was a Jewish singer.
That's Hazen. You take your chasen like so, whisk the tea till you get a nice green foam, then...
Chuck it away and ask for a cup of builders.
What are you, on day release from Barbaria?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, cleansing. Shouldn't you be rehearsing? Oh, God. What have you done?
And we're off.
Just tell me how bad it was and who I've got to schmooze to give you a second chance for the umpteenth time in your career.
I've done nothing wrong.
Then why are you haunting me?
Dave Girton's dead.
How could they tell?
Morris.
Another of my clients was in a Girton production. Had to hold a mirror to his mouth to check he was breathing.
But he's not anymore.
Which is tragic, very sad, terrible loss, gone before his time, greatly missed, etc., etc. When's the funeral?
Why?
Well, he may be dead, but his contact book lives on. Dave Girton was fantastically well connected.
Just when I think I've heard it all, you can still shock me.
That's what keeps our relationship fresh.
Dave wasn't very old, so, you know, it's a bit...
What?
Mysterious.
Only to you. Don't play the cop unless you're auditioning.
If they ever remake The French Connection.
I think you're more Inspector Clouseau.
What happens if they pull the plug on the show?
Ain't gonna happen, Bobby.
Well, you're very confident.
You're under contract to the meanest producers in the business. The entire cast could die on the first night. They'd still sell tickets to the Shiva. Who's taking over from Dave?
There's a rehearsal this afternoon, and for now, Tony DeLaunay's running the whole shooting match.
Oh, he's a safe pair of hands.
As company manager, can he direct a farce?
He doesn't need to. It's one of those shows that runs itself, and between Bernard Walton, Freddie George and Susie Stone, there's 100 years comedic experience in the cast.
What about me?
What indeed? Your entire career's been a farce.
I'm this close to ramming my chasen down your wizened throat.
Do you know, I've never seen anyone more in need of cleansing their chakras.
Will clean chakras help pay the rent?
Frances makes you pay rent.
She doesn't make me.
I thought...
What?
Never mind.
You thought what?
I thought you had an arrangement.
What? Like I'm her gigolo?
At your age.
I do have a homeopathic trace of self-respect, so yes, I pay rent. And I'd like to continue doing so, providing the show doesn't fold.
It won't. This is a temporary hiatus. Treat it as an opportunity to clean up your act. Join a gym. Eat something green that's supposed to be green. Come on, I'll treat you to a bowl of kimchi full of healthy bacteria and only 34 calories.
I politely declined, then nipped round to Maury's Emporium of Cholesterol Delights, where I wolfed down a 600-calorie pastrami on rye with 2 double espressos to wash down the green matcha, gleefully undoing all its good work. By the time I got to the green room, I was wired and suffering a meat sweat.
Welcome, Mr. Bond.
I felt greener than a green room.
I've been expecting you.
And this green room was overcrowded with Susie Stone's personal rep of stock character voices.
Cup of tea, darling.
Oh, no. Thanks, Susie.
You all right, sweetheart?
Actually, I was feeling worse by the second.
You're very red in the face.
Yeah.
No need to blush, Charles.
Since mistakenly seeing her home and then accidentally sleeping on her floor, Susie was labouring under the misconception that there was something special between us.
You look a bit peaky, babes. Fancy an Indian head massage?
No, thanks. I think I'll just pop out for some air. Once a Victorian hat factory, the rehearsal rooms were built around a central courtyard, now a bin store firing range for incontinent pigeons. On the other hand, it was the perfect place for a sneaky roll-up and a gut-settling digestif.
Do you step out of my office, Bernard?
Reluctant to be caught day drinking, I instinctively hid between 2 industrial wheelie bins.
Got a light?
Somewhere. You sure we're not overlooked?
We're fine, Bernard. Relax.
Here.
As a glasshouse dweller, I'm in no position to throw stones, but I was surprised to see Freddie and Bernard sparking up a weed woodbine.
This'll sort out your lumbago.
It wasn't their age that surprised me.
Good God, this stuff's weapons grade.
More the fact that Bernard, in particular, cherished his whiter-than-white, squeaky-clean, family-friendly image.
Amazing what you can grow in a conservatory.
You'll have the rozzers banging on your double glazing.
In picturesque Chobham? I don't think so.
Did you know I've got a biography in the pipeline?
You want to see a doctor?
You spent too long in the Benny Hill show. The publisher made me an offer and hooked me up with a writer. Well, a journalist.
You didn't want to write it yourself?
I've got better things to do with my time.
I had heard a rumour about a book deal.
It's no big secret. But you see how things get out.
Well, I won't mention it. Scout's honour.
You were kicked out of the Scouts, and it's not the book I'm worried about.
But I won't mention anything else either.
Good.
I won't mention anything else. What anything, I wondered. And what else?
You know what hacks are like. I don't want anything getting out that could cause embarrassment to me or the family.
Given the fact that Bernard had done a party political broadcast for the Tory party, I'd have thought his embarrassment threshold must have been pretty damn high.
We've all done jobs we'd rather forget when we were young and needed the money.
It was the second time I'd heard that phrase. Last time from Mark.
Any profile I've got has been hard won.
Mum's the word.
What did Freddie know that could be more shaming or damaging to Bernard's profile?
God help anyone who jeopardizes it.
Well, I'm hardly going to blab, am I?
If this hack turns up looking for juicy tidbits, I don't want anything getting out.
You and me both.
We'd better go in.
Bernard's hush-hush talk had piqued my interest, but I was more concerned with the gnawing spasms in my abdomen.
News is my business, and business is good.
The meeting with our company manager told us little we didn't already know. Dave was dead, Tony said passed again, and pending a post-mortem we should keep calm and carry on rehearsing.
Are you in the closet, Gordon?
I was in the closet, doubled up in abdominal pain.
Have you been talking to my wife?
Come out of there.
What about Brian?
Never mind, Brian.
Gallard!
Quick, Gordon, back in the closet.
Oh, God.
Are you all right in there, Charles?
Yeah. No, actually, no. No, I'm not.
What's wrong?
I feel like I've swallowed a red-hot cannonball.
You've got a funny colour.
I feel wrong. Oh, very, very wrong. Oh.
That's it, Charles. Nice and steady.
Charles?
Mrs. Paris?
Yes, well, it's complicated.
OK. He had a bit of a fall, but he's fine.
I didn't have a fall. Old people have a fall, and I didn't have a funny turn either.
I didn't say you had a funny turn.
You didn't say it, but it was hanging in the air.
Quite a character.
Isn't he, Charles?
I'm not a character, I'm a character actor, and I'd rather you didn't talk about me in the third person.
Did you drive here?
Yes.
Well, have you won the rollover? Do you know what they charge in hospital car parks?
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, is it likely to... is there anything, wrong?
Nothing a few lifestyle changes won't sort out. I've given him a list.
A list of things to make me live longer or to make it feel like I'm living longer?
He's a scream.
He certainly makes me want to. What about medication?
He doesn't need any.
For me.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruption.
Someone's shipper this
The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon.
Good, because there's a little revolution about to take place right here, right now, starting with me confiscating the coffee grinder.
Oi!
Unless there's a decaf beans.
Wash your mouth up. Where did you learn language like that?
You want a drink? Try one of those.
Wild berry hibiscus inner wellness daily detox. Give me my coffee.
No.
Give me my coffee.
No.
I need my coffee.
You'll thank me in the long term.
I'll be dead in the long term.
According to the doctor's list, you'll be dead in the short term if you don't clean up your act.
Have you been talking to Morris? You have.
We've only got your best interests at heart.
It was his green tea that made me ill.
And there was me thinking it was the full Cajun breakfast, followed by half a kilo of pastrami and double espressos, not to mention a lifetime of whiskey and cigarettes.
Step away from the grinder.
No.
Don't make me come over there.
Or what? You'd have to stop by the bread bin to catch your breath. Now, be a good boy. Sit down and eat your fruit.
Fruit?
What are you, 5?
Fruit's not breakfast.
It is now. Apples, bananas, fresh grapes, or there's a packet of prunes in the cupboard.
I can't start the day on a desiccated plum.
Fine. You can have one for lunch. After your jog.
My what? Oh, it's the company manager. Hi, Tony. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, of course. What time and where? OK. I'll see you there. Dave Girton's cremation.
Didn't really go with the Benny Hill theme tune, did it?
Anyway, it's this afternoon, so I'm afraid our jog will have to wait.
Don't sound too upset.
Thing is, it's one of those inconvenient places that's not far as the crow flies, but there's no direct public transport.
Get a cab.
It's too expensive.
Uber?
Not expensive enough.
If cabs are too expensive...
They spend years earning that green badge, and I defend their right to charge what they like.
You're a victim of your own social conscience.
Tell me about it. I don't suppose you could give me a lift.
I've got a much better idea.
Oh!
Here you go.
Are you insane?
Just put the helmet on.
No.
Hold still.
Francis!
And the mask.
I draw the line at the mask.
On you get.
Oh, do you know the last time I rode a...
You never forget. It's like riding a bike. Now, off you go. Don't worry about drinking and cycling. I took the half bottle out of your jacket pocket.
Tyrant.
4 miles door to door, and I have never been so terrified in my life.
Get out of the bloody way!
4 wheels or 2, they all wanted me dead. So I got off and walked the last 3 miles, which inevitably made me late.
Oh,
Where have you been, Charles?
Oh, helmet.
All right, Bernard.
No, you still got it on, old boy.
Oh, I can't. Can somebody...
Keep still.
Oh, thanks.
What did I miss?
The ceremony.
That's Dave disappearing through the curtains.
The theatrical cremation is the only time the curtains don't reopen for a final bow and a round of applause.
These are all the theme tunes from his TV show.
Not the one set on a cruise ship.
Luxury liner.
That was a stinker. I was the captain. You were great, Bernard.
I was the purser.
You were good too, Freddie.
I was the entertainment officer.
Was I the only actor not in it?
We all got Legionnaires.
I don't remember that storyline.
In real life.
Holy Charles.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Sorry. My pump.
Bloody Pippa.
What's she done now?
I'm like so not good around death. I said no one's good around death. You know what she said?
What?
Yeah, but at your age you must be used to it.
She won't stay young forever.
She won't grow old if I have anything to do with it. You coming back for a drink?
Actually, I've got to get off.
Oh, I'll give you a kiss now then.
What?
Mwah. Be good.
Yeah.
I saw you sneaking in, but how could I not in the silver spaceman helmet, which, by the way, has given you the worst hat hair ever. You missed a good one.
You reviewing funerals on the side now?
Speeches, music, and a final curtain call. It's a show like any other.
Only to you.
Don't tell me you haven't made plans for yours.
Oddly enough.
Mine's going to be a corker. Invitation only, Ticketmaster to handle bookings, Judy and Maggie doing readings, and there's a bidding war between Nick Heitner and Danny Boyle to direct.
I notice you haven't asked me to do anything.
Presupposing the likelihood you'll outlive me.
I'm starting a fitness regime.
50 quid says you don't last the week.
Make it a slap-up meal and you're on.
Deal. Was that Susie Stone wrapped around you?
She thinks we've got a connection.
Have you?
No. Listen, what do you know about the life and times of Bernard Walton?
National treasure, darling in Middle England, happily and boringly married to the same wife for 40-odd years. Why?
No skeletons in cupboards?
Not that I'm aware.
What about Freddie?
Likewise.
No dark secrets?
He's tight as hell, but that's no secret.
He's also a 60-something stoner.
At his age, you get your thrills where you can.
He grows his own.
Well, he's far too mean to buy it.
You're not surprised?
The baby boomers listen to Gardener's Question Time and read Hunter S. Thompson.
I don't see Bernard or Freddie reading gonzo journalism.
I'll log into the gossip database if you like. If it's there, Morris will snuffle it out.
Bloodhound.
Trufflehound, if you don't mind. Now, come on, Charles. This is a networking opportunity.
It's a funeral.
A funeral full of industry movers and shakers.
I'm a mover and shaker.
With you, it's caffeine and booze. Go forth, my son. Go with my blessing and work the room.
We're not in a room.
Work the garden of rest, then. Henry, I thought I saw you lurking behind the commemorative...
I'm not a great networker at the best of times, and post-cremation seemed like the worst of times.
Oh, there you are, Charles.
Oh, hello, Tony. He may have been the most loyal and efficient company manager in the business, but Tony Delaunay looked like a man carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Need a hand?
Oh, thanks. This damn chain. You don't want bike oil on your suit.
I still haven't got the bloodstains out after your nosebleed.
Oh, now I feel guilty.
Not as guilty as me. Oh, come on, let's have a look.
What do you feel guilty about?
Things I said to you the other day. About Dave being lazy.
We all knew what he was like.
Yeah, but I can't help feeling. I mean, this is awful.
What did the post-mortem say?
SADS.
SADS?
Sudden arrhythmic death syndrome. Just one of those things.
And there was I gearing up for a Bernard and Freddie murder conspiracy. Maybe Morris was right. Don't play the cop unless you're auditioning.
There you go.
Thanks. Any idea what's going to happen with the show?
At the moment, I've been left in sole charge, which includes trying to boost ticket sales, which is easier said than done with next to no publicity budget.
That radio promo we did should help.
If I ever get to hear it. Your mate Mark knew it was a priority, didn't he? He said he'd edit that afternoon and get it straight over for approval. Every time I phone, it goes straight to voicemail.
Now it's my turn to feel guilty.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, but I put you in touch with him.
You know what these media people are like. He's probably been busy on another 10 jobs.
The thing was, Mark's partner, Lisa, had told me that business was anything but busy. I'd also got the distinct impression that she was the driving force behind the company, and she'd been away when we made our little promo.
Don't worry, Charles. I'll try him again later.
I worked up a thirst on the ride home, so paused at the Drum and Monkey for cordials and restoratives.
Come on.
Big Kev speaking.
Damn!
Yeah? Who's calling? Left your phone in your helmet, Charles.
Ah.
Geezer called Morris.
Cheers. Morris.
You want another double in that?
Another double electrolyte energy drink would be great.
Yada yada, nice try, Charles.
I'm at the gym.
And Big Kev's your personal trainer.
He's a martyr to his hormones.
Looks like that slap-up meal's as good as mine.
I said I'm starting a fitness regime, so the bet's still on.
Well, you're going to need to be fit, flitting between fast rehearsals and another job that's just come in.
What other job?
It's an availability, but wonder of wonders, it's an outright offer.
An offer?
That's what I said to the booker.
You're supposed to big me up.
I'll leave that to Big Kev. Good thing is, it's a voice job, so out of vision.
Oi!
Same people who did the Edwardian porn audiobook.
Erotica.
Potatoes, potatoes.
Did Mark book me?
No, his partner.
Lisa.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to your fitness regime. Sounds like thirsty work. Ciao!
My newfound desirability gave me a fresh lease of life. Flushed with the success of my Edwardian erotica, I remounted Francis's bike with renewed vigour and a spring in my pedals.
Mind out! Down. Your dog nearly had me in the canal.
Here, Angel!
Can you please control him?
Well, it's a she, and she thinks you're playing.
Well, I'm not.
Well, she thinks you are.
She may think that, but you can see I'm not, and you're the human.
Oh, she's all right.
I'm trying to go home.
Well, she doesn't know that.
But you do.
She's quite gentle.
Quite's not that convincing.
Oh, she's a softie, aren't you a softie? Yes, you are. You're a silly, stuffy old softie.
Get down.
She's never bitten anyone.
I've only got your word for that. Will you please call her off?
Here, girl.
Oh, for...
Stop it, Angel.
Oh!
Oh! Well, she's never done that before.
Oh!
Charles?
3 hours in A&E.
Again?
Yes, again.
Did they offer you a loyalty card?
Remind me never to get on a bike again.
You were knocked off.
No.
I mean, it's quite an expensive...
Oh, don't worry, Francis.
No, I mean-
Unbelievable.
Obviously, I can see you're in one piece.
Nothing's happened to your precious bike.
Are you all right, Charles?
Yes, Francis, thank you for asking. I'm fine.
I'm very relieved to hear it. Come into the kitchen. Bitten by a dog?
I'm glad you find it funny.
I don't.
I can see.
What sort of dog?
Does it matter?
Well,
the sort with teeth.
I was only...
Surely the breed is immaterial.
I just wondered.
If I'd been knocked off by a car, you wouldn't ask if it was a Mini or a Bentley.
I just wondered if it was a dangerous
It was
dog.
dangerous to me.
I mean a banned one, like a pit bull or a...
It was a Dachshund.
A sausage dog?
Don't be fooled by the cute name. I've just had a tetanus jab in a part of me that was already sore as hell thanks to your bike.
How did you ride back?
I didn't. I pushed it all the way uphill from the hospital.
Oh, well, all good
I've
exercise.
cycled to a cremation, been bitten by a Dachshund and ended up in A&E again. So far, I'm not overly impressed by this exercise business.
It has to get worse before it gets better.
I had a girlfriend who said that.
It was me.
Oh.
And it didn't.
That's good to know.
Sit down and I'll pour you a drink.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, no. I'll have to stand up and drink.
This'll make you feel better.
Oh, yeah. I picked up another job.
You see? Good things happen when you clean up your act.
It's only another voice job.
Is it more Edwardian porn?
Erotica. It is Mark and Lisa again, but I don't know what the job is yet.
You must have impressed them on the last
They
one.
asked if I'd be up for more, so it looks like they've come good.
There you are. One reviving drink.
Cheers. Oh! You said a drink.
It is a drink.
It tastes like watery coconut.
It's coconut water.
Just when I thought actual coconut was disappointing, you proved to me that there's something that packs even less of a punch.
It counts as one of your 5 a day.
What about barley?
I think so.
Good, I'll have a scotch.
No, you won't.
Beer, then?
No.
It's got hops. It's practically a salad.
No, Charles. How was the funeral?
A bit showbiz. The dearly departed to theme tunes of his own TV shows.
Touching.
It was wall-to-wall celebrities, so Morris was in his element. Oh, it's the voice people. Charles Paris, international voice artiste.
Charles, it's Lisa.
Lisa, are you all right?
I've been away.
You sound...
I've been away.
Yes, you said.
I've just got back.
Lisa, what's wrong? From the tone of her voice, whatever it was sounded very wrong indeed.
It's Mark.
And now was not the time for pedantry, but the little voice in my head was begging her not to say it.
He's... passed.
Sometimes I really don't like being a Radio 4 listener. With a fast-paced farce to rehearse and a doctor's warning to clean up my act, Frances had become my personal motivator.
Hurry up!
Stroke trainer.
Dig it in!
Stroke torturer-in-chief.
Dig deep!
Stroke being the operative word.
It hurts.
It gets better.
Well, what if it gets worse?
You die and I get my spare room back.
Gee, thanks, Coach.
It's only pain.
It's these shorts.
Normally I'd jack it in and head for the nearest pub, but recently my life had been affected by 2 premature deaths, which was a wake-up call.
Last one back's a financial drain on the NHS.
Yeah.
The director of a show I was rehearsing phoned in sick with a migraine, then keeled over with a coronary.
Drop the pace if you need to fart.
That's either a running term or a flatulent Dalek.
Then I got a call telling me that a radio producer friend had also died.
Push the envelope.
Of course, Mark had been a heavy drinker and a heavier smoker with an appalling diet and an ex-wife who loathed him. And for some reason that made me reflect on my own life and wonder if it was time to put my house in order.
Not far now.
Even if it was, technically, Frances's house.
At least with cycling you sit down.
Jogging's convivial.
With you in front the whole time.
I can't slow down.
No, the motion of you in Lycra's the only thing keeping me going.
Well, I sprint the last bit, so it's keep up or bye-bye Lycra. Let's go!
Shake! Shake! Lungs burning. Fire.
It'll be easier next time.
You've got to be joking.
Where's your stamina?
I think it dropped off after the first mile.
Look at my Fitbit.
I have been.
Here, look. We barely did half a mile.
Well, tell that to the pain running down my right arm.
Heart attack's the left arm.
What's the pain in the right one?
Acute hypochondria.
Oh.
Do your stretches.
Yeah. Sir, I'm just taking you outside.
Frances warned me against receiving bad news to the accompaniment of Herb Alpert's Tijuana brass.
I wish I had a garden. I'm cooped up here waiting to get another earful of abuse from the Ice Queen.
Who?
Mark's ex, Gina. Oh, Charles, it's so awful.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa.
I could really do with someone to talk to.
Well, I'm listening.
I mean face to face.
Ah.
Someone who knew Mark. I don't suppose you could come to the studio.
Nice shorts.
I've been jogging, but it sounded urgent, so...
Can I have a hug?
Oh, I haven't had time for... Oh, okay.
Charles.
Okay.
Gina and I are in touch about funeral arrangements.
Mark left Gina when he and Lisa hooked up at the BBC.
It's all so horrible.
When the studio-crossed lovers left the corporation, they set up a small production company, becoming partners in business, as in life.
Until this week, I don't think I've ever spoken to a policeman. Now I do little else.
Why?
A middle-aged man with no major health issues dies in a studio and I found the body.
He died here? I looked through to the cramped, airless shoebox where I'd recently spent a steamy day recording Edwardian erotica.
They say he died under suspicious circumstances. Oh, sorry. Just when I think I've normalised the situation, it hits me all over again.
Had he been here long?
A few days.
And no one found him?
Well, I was away. Remember, I couldn't be there for your theatre promo.
Does that mean we were the last booking before...
Yes. The morning you all came in, was Mark drunk?
He wasn't entirely sober.
I knew it. Did the recording go all right?
Well...
Charles?
He was a bit high-spirited. Our director was ill and couldn't make it. Mark knew him from the BBC. Do you remember Dave Girton?
Do I? King of the gravy train.
Well, Mark couldn't resist making a few jokes at Dave's expense.
Libelous jokes?
More...
Well, high-spirited?
Right. You don't happen to know if Mark had written a kiss and tell about his time at the BBC?
Oh, he was always going on about a memoir, usually when he was drunk. Another hollow threat.
Threat?
Well, all right, hollow promise. Like most of Mark's big ideas, he never wrote it. Or if he did, he didn't show it to me.
So there could be a manuscript knocking around somewhere.
Oh, I suppose it's possible. He loved being the centre of attention, and part of that was showing off that he had the dirt on everyone.
So when he said he knew where the bodies were buried...
Well, metaphorical bodies.
I assumed not literal. And this memoir...
Just Mark in his cups. More empty promises. At least Dave wasn't there to hear him.
You haven't heard?
What?
Halfway through the recording, we had a call saying Dave was dead.
Oh, my God. They must have both died the same day. What happened?
Heart attack. Completely out of the blue. Oh. When you said Mark died under suspicious circumstances... Oh, rehearsals.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about...
Sorry, Lisa, I've got to run. Call me... Unstretched, unwarmed down, and still unshowered, I hurtled into town, pausing at an artisanal coffee shop, where I spent a week's wages on 2 double-shot macchiatos and something beige called a high-energy life bar. Come in, you minx.
Hello, Gordon.
Oh, Alec.
Were you expecting someone else?
No, I...
Where's my saucy six-pot?
Brian.
Gordon, Alec.
What were you doing in Gordon's pantry?
No wonder I couldn't find my coat.
And what's the sex pot?
Eh?
You said, where's my sex pot?
Oh, no, Xbox. Where's my Xbox?
Already dated in the 70s, One Door Closes had been cack-handedly updated by a cut-price gun-for-hire of a scriptwriter who'd sprinkled the script with leaden references to the digital age.
I didn't have you down as a gamer, Brian.
Oh, yes. I'm Call of Duty crazy.
Sorry, gang. Tony, a quick word with your director's cap on.
As our actual director's ashes were barely cold, Tony Delaunay, the company manager, had stepped into the breach.
What's the problem, Bernard? This Xbox reference. I'm probably showing my age.
It's for playing computer games, isn't it, Charles? My nephew loves Grandma's Wardrobe.
Grand Theft Auto, Freddie.
You see, Freddie knows about as much as me and our audience, if we get an audience at all.
Leave that to me.
All right, but they're going to be our sort of age. I had to speak up before it's too late.
It's already pretty late, Bernard. This is the same script we've been rehearsing all along.
But it's not the same script I performed back in 77.
He was in the original cast.
And he came back for more.
I was reading my old script last night, and there are so many changes which don't actually make the show any funnier.
We did get permission from the estate to update.
Do we really need to update a show like this?
We want to make it relevant.
Relevant?
It needs to resonate with a modern audience.
Resonate? Come off it, Tony. It's a light bedroom farce, not a state-of-the-nation drama on Channel 4.
A contemporary audience still has to relate to it.
It's about lust and adultery. Human beings have been doing that since the beginning of time. They've always related to it. They relate to it now, and they'll be relating to it in another 1,000 years' time. And while we're at it, I think we can do without the effing and blinding.
There's very little effing.
There's more blinding in King Lear.
Thanks, Charles.
Sorry.
There shouldn't be any of either.
I tell you what, let's break for an early lunch. Bernard, let's have a chat over a sandwich.
What was all that about?
Well, with great fame comes great responsibility.
Bernard's become very image-conscious.
He is a national treasure.
Oh, he hates that.
I can understand him wanting to protect his profile.
Yes, but Bernard's not Alec.
Well, he's not a million miles away.
Freddie, we've all got our range.
But apart's apart. Credit the audience with a little intelligence.
Then again, none of us has achieved quite the same level of fame.
Tell me about it.
When I first knew him, he took what was on offer.
Times change.
I suppose he has to think of his fan base.
The only mild dirt I had on Bernard was that I'd seen him sharing a spliff with Freddie, and that wouldn't get him a mention in the sidebar of shame.
We've all done work we'd rather forget.
Well, as we've broken early, I'm going to venture a Thai green curry and a pint at the Grafton. Anyone?
Count me in. Charles?
My Pavlovian response to the words curry and pint sent my salivary glands into overdrive, but an uppercase text put me on pause.
Lunchtime. Show self-restraint to win reward. Remember Torquay? Triple exclamation marks, smiley face, winky face, red lips, kiss, kiss, kiss.
Of course I remembered Torquay, and she knew it. How could I not remember the flesh pots of Torquay? We were young, carefree, and yet the words pint and curry were eroding my self-restraint. Then came a follow-up.
Lie and I'll know. You know I always know. Scary face, death-holding side.
Who needs a pub when a pop-up street food market pops up in a deconsecrated churchyard? I hit the Amazonian salad bar like a man on a mission. The mission? To live. I'll have the vegan rainforest salad box.
Any extras?
What do you recommend?
Oh, my favorite's the smoked tofu, though I have to warn you, the tahini, cashew, and sesame seed dressing does contain nuts and seeds.
You've got to love a generation whose idea of life on the edge is salad dressing. To hell with it. We only live once. Give me the works. Clutching my fat-free, salt-free, sugar and fun-free lunch, I secured the gravestone of a 17th century silk merchant and tucked in. Oh, not now. I'm in a state of vegan grace.
Ah, the fictional health regime?
There's nothing fictional about this. My jaws have never had such a workout.
Don't forget, fall off the wagon, you buy me lunch at a restaurant of my choice.
Which is why I won't fall off the wagon.
We'll see. You wanted the gossip on Bernard.
What have you got?
Nada. No one's got a bad word to say. No bitching, no gossip, no scandal. And he's got the nerve to call himself an actor. Happily married this, charity fundraisers that. I had high hopes when you said he smokes Mary Jane. High hopes? See what I did there?
Don't tell me it was a herbal cigarette.
Oh, it was weed, all right. Medical use to relieve his lumbago, yawn, yawn. I know clerics with richer hinterlands.
You know clerics?
Gogglebox, a small island parish. Saturday Live. Dog collars are de rigueur. Vicars are the new stand-ups. Forget the Groucho. The General Synod's where the deals are going down.
Maybe I should take the cloth.
You're more mosh pit than pulpit. No, I'm afraid Brother Bernard's squeaky clean. Freddie, on the other hand...
Ah, OK. Everyone knows he's a skinflint, so it's got to be fraud, tax evasion, offshore accounts.
Porn.
Shut up.
There's stuff online if you know where to look.
You didn't hack his browsing history.
He's not a consumer, he's a purveyor. Well, he was.
We are talking about the same Freddie George. Love at chords, Daily Telegraph sticking out the pocket of his tweed jacket, goes glassy-eyed when anyone mentions good old Maggie.
Pornography is all about the free market, Charles. Anyway, this was when Freddie was young and needed the money.
Why do I keep hearing that? Seriously, though, Freddie in porn?
Well, don't come on all judgmental. You've done your share of iffy gigs for money. That dirty audiobook, for one.
That was Edwardian erotica.
Keeping a top hat on doesn't make it art. You don't seriously think Freddie had anything to do with Mark's death?
Holy mother!
What is it?
Oh, my leg!
What have you done this time?
Brought up short by the searing pain, I filed Freddie away under possible suspects to be considered and limped back to the rehearsal room like Boris Karloff in Tower of London.
Did you warm down after your run?
I didn't have time.
Shower? Oh, silly question. I don't suppose you drank anything.
4 espressos washed down by 2 double macchiatos.
For an intelligent man, you're surprisingly thick.
That has been brought to my attention.
You've got a build-up of lactic acid.
From a tiny dash of foamy milk.
From exercise and stupidity. Lie down.
Oh.
Legs up.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a massage.
Right.
Ever since an accidental night at Susie's, she was under the misapprehension that we had a thing.
Ow.
We didn't have a thing.
Ah.
And I was worried that her man handling me was giving the wrong signals. On the other hand, I was in agony.
Surprisingly smooth legs. Do you shave them?
No, I do not.
Lots of men go in for manscaping now.
Aren't you supposed to be rehearsing your bedroom scene?
Tony swapped to the conservatory with Bernard, Freddie and Pippa. Good luck to him.
Why good luck?
Because, well, little Miss Cute and Perky can't do funny to save her life.
Pippa had set Susie's teeth on edge from day one, mainly because Pippa had the audacity to have been born in 1997.
Boy, she schmoozes Bernard.
Does she?
Don't tell me you hadn't noticed. Constantly asking advice, hanging on his every word, laughing at his jokes. Bernard, you're so funny. You ought to be on Have I Got News for You. Oh, God, it's nauseating.
You don't think there's something going on between them?
Who knows?
I thought he was happily married.
Is this Charles Paris talking? Or is there a pod in the basement and you're an alien replacement?
He's 50 years her senior. This didn't match Morris's profile of Mr. Squeaky Clean at all.
Didn't you wonder why Pippa and he weren't at the promo recording?
We couldn't use the entire cast in a 30-second promo anyway. We'd never have fitted them into that tiny studio.
So you don't think it's a coincidence that only they had the morning off?
Not particularly, no. On the other hand, if there was something going on between them and word got back to Bernard that Mark was planning to write a book of showbiz scandal, no. It was ridiculous.
Right. Up you get.
Oh, right.
Better?
Well, much. You're wasted on acting.
Thanks.
No.
Thank you very much.
I didn't mean literally.
Good to know I've got something to fall back
That's
on.
really not what I meant.
Leave the acting to girls like Pippa.
I just meant that you're really good at massage.
I've got to just do something.
As I was already in a hole, it was time to stop digging. But Susie would barely look at me rehearsing our bedroom scene. Alone at last.
Yes?
You don't sound too sure.
It's just
What?
nothing.
I like it when you're enigmatic. She delivered the lines, but nothing else. It's very sexy. On the plus side, she no longer thought there was something between us.
You do like animals, don't you, Gordon?
Love 'em. Tony seemed to have placated Bernard over the effing and blinding, and the rest of the day went smoothly enough.
Dog.
Maybe we should wait till you give your sister back her cockapoo.
And lights fade to black. OK, people, we'll reconvene after the weekend.
Fancy a quick drink, Tony?
I thought you were on a fitness regime.
A fruit juice.
I would, but I've got a to-do list like you wouldn't believe. Then a conference call, and I've promised Bernard I'll take another look through all his scenes tonight just to see if there's any way I can take out the odd word he still finds offensive.
Sounds like you're doing about 10 different jobs.
That's the gig economy.
Seriously, shouldn't you have an assistant to take some of the pressure off you?
You know how tight they are.
So they aren't looking for someone to replace Dave?
I refer you to my last answer.
I hope they're paying you extra for all of this.
I refer you to my previous 2 answers.
Well, I don't envy you.
Oh, it's what we do, Charles. When I was a kid, I'd have killed to work in theatre. Now it's an addiction. If they stopped paying me, I'd probably keep coming in.
Don't tell them that.
You're an actor. You know what I mean.
Put get some sleep on your to-do list.
Some chance. Night, Charles.
Thwarted in my attempts to shower, I took what was on offer and strolled through a summer Soho cloudburst.
Taxi!
Oi! Oh. Oblivious to another angry Londoner drenched in grey gutter water, the cabbie was busy picking up Bernard. From beneath a large golfing umbrella, Bernard ushered Pippa into the back of the cab before they sped off through the monsoon. I was now beyond wet, so made for the nearest convenience.
Do you have to put your foot on my desk?
I've got to get dry.
You don't have to do it quite so graphically.
Do you think I've got smooth legs?
I don't think about your legs. Oh, now you mention it, that's a mirror finish. Do you wax?
Maybe I should see a doctor.
Just add it to your CV. Please cover up, Charles.
My clothes are soaked.
Wrap yourself in the towel, sit still and shut up while I finish this email.
What's this?
Don't touch.
OK.
Prosecco.
No, thank you, Sophie.
Didn't you ring?
It was just Charles.
Okay, cool.
You've got a Prosecco bell.
It's a joke, a gift from a client.
Your clients give you gifts.
Please, Charles.
I'm not even here. You haven't got a hairdryer, have you?
Do I look like I use a hairdryer?
What about a...
Have you got ADHD? What, Charles? What about a what?
Just wondering if you had a tumble dryer.
Oh, let me see. What's that in the corner? A photocopier. Oh, yes. This is the talent agency, not a bloody laundrette.
All right. When you...
I give up. What? When I what?
When you sniffed around for gossip on Bernard.
Oh, do let it go.
It's been suggested to me that he's seeing a young actress, possibly more than seeing.
With his lumbago?
We know he smokes dope to ease the pain. Maybe it eases it enough for him to have an affair.
Oh, every young actress's dream, a septuagenarian stoner with chronic back pain. What is this obsession with Bernard's private life?
The police think Mark died under suspicious circumstances. And when we recorded the promo, Mark was showing off about his encyclopedic knowledge of showbiz gossip, and how he was going to put all the dirt in his memoir.
Was Bernard upset?
He wasn't there.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What if someone told Bernard about Mark's book?
Is there a book? Is there even a manuscript?
Lisa's never seen one.
Oh, the plot thins by the second.
Look, Bernard's a national treasure, a much-loved family favourite angling for a knighthood.
Not everyone's as anti-establishment as you.
But a sex scandal would jeopardise a royal honour.
Do you know anything about politicians and royalty?
If Bernard's ambitious enough, a potential scandal might push him to do something desperate.
One episode of Lewis does not a policeman make.
2 episodes.
They cut you out of the second.
I wasn't drunk and D.S. Innocent spoke up for
She's
me.
not a real cop and neither are you. You're an actor, Charles. Act. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a first night to get to.
Need a +1.
In wet jogging gear, let me think. No. Now, in the nicest possible way, get the hell out of my office.
Or can
Leave.
I just...
Go now.
I can take
It wasn't a hint, it was an order.
There's just one thing.
What?
Don't suppose you keep any spare clothes in the office?
A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm.
Shout, you'll have to make do with tomato juice.
Tomato juice won't slake the thirst of a salty old sea dog.
It's all we've got. Good God, have you joined a golf club?
I think it suits me.
I've seen Argyle socks, but Argyle trousers.
I think I can pull them off.
The sooner the better.
They're going back to Morris Monday morning.
I won't even ask. What's with the Captain Pugwash routine?
Torquay, matey.
Torquay?
Torquay.
You've got a long way to go before Torquay.
Torquay is a long way.
In your case, about 3 kilos.
Whatever that is in old money, I'll get there.
We'll see.
You should have seen my vegan lunch. It was so high in fibre, my innards don't know what's hit them.
I'm impressed.
You're impressed.
I'm just having a salad tonight. But there's enough if
Salad's good.
Oh. OK. Help yourself to wine.
Not for me.
Really?
Yep.
OK.
That was a test, right?
Right.
Did I pass?
Depends if there's a bottle of scotch stashed in your bedroom.
Feel free to search. You don't need a warrant.
I might need a tetanus jam. I'll take your word for it.
Fine. I'll just change. Hi, Lisa.
Bad time.
Well, I'm just removing my agent's trousers. Let me rephrase that. My career's not that bad.
This is ridiculously short notice, but are you free over the weekend?
Invariably.
How's your East End villain?
I haven't got an East End villain.
No. Can you do one?
Voice? Oh, yeah. I reckon I could pull something out of the bag. You were asking for a dry slap, sunshine.
Give me one more.
Coming up. You're asking for a dry slap, sunshine.
Lovely, thanks. Moving on to shut your mouth.
Got it. Shut your mouth! I'm going to give you a few more of those.
Still rolling.
Shut your mouth! And so went the day, with variations on a theme of East End geezer for a new London-based gangster game, Lock and Load.
Mouth.
Watch it, Jez! He's got a sawn-off! Now Mark was dead. Lisa was running the shop, and she was running it much more efficiently.
You're on my manor now. Behave yourself. Tell Frankie to face no one messes with my family.
But by the end of the day, she looked tired and stressed.
Messes with my family.
Okay, Charles, let's call it a day.
You happy with that last one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Only fine.
It's brilliant.
Sake.
Non-alcoholic drink.
Love to.
1 tomato juice, 1 orange juice and lemonade.
Thanks.
Cheers. So, how's it going?
Rehearsals?
Clean living.
Fine. Or that's what I keep telling myself.
You need an incentive.
Torquay.
Sorry?
Long story. You know, I was surprised when you phoned me.
Oh, you said you were up for more voice work.
Well, it's more the timing, you know, Mark. I kind of assumed.
Well, I can't afford not to work.
Sure.
Business wasn't great when Mark was alive. Now it's down to me. I feel I owe it to him to make the company work.
I can understand that.
It's also a distraction.
People deal with grief in their own way. I sound like a vicar.
I don't see you in a dog collar.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that.
You're very easy to talk to.
Am I?
For a man. Most men love the sound of their own voices, but you actually listen.
You're not the first person to say that, either. Mind you, she was drunk and hitting on me. Well, not so much hitting as falling on me.
I'm sure she'd have hit on you even if she wasn't drunk.
Well,
Don't panic. I don't drink.
good for you.
My parents are both heavy drinkers. It put me off for life. Unfortunately, it was Mark's drinking that came between us.
I thought I detected a little tension in the studio that day.
Only a little.
Couples always bicker.
Mark's drinking was affecting the business.
I got the impression you were firmly in the driving seat.
Well, someone had to be. And it wasn't just at work. I can tell you to the day the last time we had sex.
That sort of thing's on a need-to-know basis.
And you don't need to know.
No.
You shouldn't be such a good listener. I feel so guilty.
Why?
If I hadn't been away, I might have found him before it was too...
You really mustn't blame yourself.
I can't help it.
You said yourself you were running the business.
You don't understand.
Somebody had to take the meetings, drum up the work.
It wasn't meetings.
I thought you said...
I was away, seeing an old friend.
Or when you say seeing...
I think you know what I mean.
I assumed that she was seeing an old friend in the same way that Bernard was seeing Pippa.
And now I've got to face Gina and daughter at the funeral.
When is it?
Monday.
I'll be there for moral support.
Immoral support.
We'll be paying our respects.
You sure you don't mind turning up with the Scarlet Woman?
When it comes to the great reckoning, I'm in no position to throw stones.
Won't you be rehearsing Monday?
I'm sure Tony Delorney will cut me some slack for a friend's funeral. So, does this mean the police no longer view it as suspicious?
They're still asking me questions.
Just because you found him?
Because of the way I found him.
You told me you found him in the little studio.
Locked in.
Why would he lock himself in?
Well, he wouldn't. And he couldn't if he wanted to. The door only locks from the outside.
Well, maybe a cleaner locked the studio by accident.
Well, the cleaners weren't booked that night. Anyway, you've been in there.
I had been in there with no aircon because Mark had forgotten to book an engineer. And even with the door wedged open, it was cramped, hot and claustrophobic.
It's impossible for anyone to lock that door without seeing someone was in there.
I died on stage many times, but slowly suffocating in an airless, soundproofed audio studio was too horrible to contemplate. What I really needed was a drink. Failing that, I needed to find out who killed Mark Lear.
In episode 3 of Charles Paris, Charles was played by Bill Nighy, Francis by Suzanne Burden, and Morris by John Glover. Susie was Jan Ravens, Lisa Isabella Inchbald, Freddie Philip Bretherton, Bernard Sean Murray, Tony Clive Hayward, and Sophie was Abby Andrews. Dead Room Farce was written by Jeremy Front, based on the novel by Simon Brett. The director was Sally Avens.
Oh, yeah. 6:30 a.m. Whichever way I looked at it, Monday was going to be a hell of a day.
Wakey, wakey!
Oh, leave me alone, you evil fitness harpy.
It's a lovely day. Look. Ah, the sun! Let's get some fresh air in here.
Oh, it's like living with Mary Poppins.
There's no escape, so shake a leg and hit the shower.
Who showers before the gym?
It's like living with a 16-year-old boy.
I'll get up if Poppins promises not to bring woodland creatures in to clean my room.
Even woodland creatures have standards.
In the good old, bad old days, I'd have survived all this with artificial stimulants and high cholesterol food. But Francis was determined to make me live longer. And even if I didn't live longer, Boot Camp Bertha was going to make it feel longer.
Cross-trainer next.
Oh, is that equipment or an angry PE teacher?
Move, Charles!
Turned out to be both. This medieval torture regime started because I was rehearsing an old bedroom farce and found I couldn't keep up, which, come to think of it, sounds like a line from an old bedroom farce.
Why do you swim with your head out of the water?
Keeps my ciggy dry.
You can't smoke in here?
You can't control my dreams.
As soon as this living hell was over, I had to race into town for an hour's rehearsal before rushing off to a funeral.
Time for a quick steam.
Mark was an old friend from radio days who, according to the coroner, died an accidental death. As accidents went, suffocating in a tiny airless studio was a pretty weird one.
Time for a quick sauna. What are you doing?
It's how they do it in Finland.
Not in Kentish Town. Pull him up.
It was a real-life locked room mystery which was niggling away at my crossword solver's mind.
Time for a cold shower. Ah, you must really hate me. You'll thank me one day. Don't count on it. Oh. Okay, breakfast. Juice bar. 10 minutes.
Breakfast at 8 a.m., I know. Crazy. But apparently some people do. At least I'd earned a proper slap-up cooked brekkie.
1 organic porridge, 1 gluten-free muffin. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I could kill for a full English.
It'd kill you first.
I hate grey food.
Shut up and eat your porridge.
At least the coffee's real.
Actually, it's decaf.
Decaf's the work of the devil.
You won't believe this, but you are looking better.
Than what?
Before.
How bad was I before?
Nosferatu meets Charles Hawtrey.
Ooh, there's one missed casting opportunity. Private Whittle as the Prince of Darkness.
I bet you feel healthier.
How should I know? It's a whole new experience.
But you've got more energy.
Well, we'll find out. In Torquay.
Torquay?
You promised. I saved your text. Lunchtime. Show self-restraint to win reward. Remember Torquay. Triple exclamation mark, smiley face, winky face, red lips, kiss, kiss, kiss. You can't renege on a promise.
Hypocrite.
You'll kill a fairy.
Elfin homicide never stopped you.
I'm doing the fitness thing to please you.
You're also doing the whining thing. How long's the run of the show?
It's limited to 12 weeks, so National Treasure Bernard can fly straight out to Lithuania for a corset and bonnet drama.
OK, here's the deal. Stay clean to the end of the run, and we'll have a good time in Torquay.
How good?
Very good.
Where's that cold shower when you need it? 10 a.m., second stop of the day. I was in the green room when I overheard Bernard and Tony in the corridor outside.
I know it's not your fault, Tony, and I appreciate you're under a lot of pressure.
Like you wouldn't believe.
We were all worrying about the lack of publicity, but Bernard had taken on the role of company spokesperson.
Trust me, Bernard, I talk to them daily. In fact, I talk to them several times a day.
Since our director suffered a fatal heart attack, poor beleaguered company manager Tony had been put in sole charge by tight-fisted producers determined to do everything on the cheap.
Is there nothing we can do?
My every waking hour is taken up with getting the show up and running.
I know.
In fact, so are most of my sleeping ones.
And you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
But if we don't get bums on seats...
If you've got any ideas...
I'll put in some calls. See what I can do.
You're a star. Oh, Pippa was looking for you.
Susie was convinced Bernard was leching over Pippa. Then again, Susie was a world-class gossip and also envious as hell about young Pippa's rapid ascent through the business.
I have never needed a coffee more urgently.
Me too, but it's on my banned list.
Suppose you heard all that.
I don't blame Bernard worrying about ticket sales.
Unfortunately, he thinks I've got more influence than I have.
You handled him very well.
I've known him a long time.
There's always a future for you in the Foreign Office.
They take anyone these days. Also, I'm in this business for the long game. That's the trouble with stage-struck kids. Once it's in the blood...
What did it for you?
First nativity play.
Snap. Who'd you play?
Balthazar, a wise man. My parents were so proud. Not quite so keen when I went pro.
Unsteady work, uncertain future.
Now, they're very religious. Didn't want me mixing with immoral types. Of course, nothing excited me more. They were much happier when I stopped acting and went into management.
So much more respectable.
I even wear a suit. God bless them. They've never pestered me about my private life, and they've been incredibly supportive.
They sound great.
I owe them everything. Now, you've got to get off early to Mark's funeral, so I've rescheduled to run your bedroom scene first.
Much appreciated.
Some things take precedent over the show.
Are you in there, Gordon?
In the previous scene, Susie and I had been playing strip hide-and-seek all over the vicarage, and I'd lost.
Ready or not, here I come.
It's a lot harder to play drunk than be drunk, but I was doing my best to act half-cut with the vicar's oversexed and underappreciated wife.
Ta-da! Da-da-da.
Well, what did you expect from a 70s farce?
What do you think?
I lay under a duvet while Susie posed in standard issue sexy lingerie.
I bought it just for you.
Golly.
Is that it?
Crikey.
Do you like it?
I'll like it even more when you take it off.
Oh, Gordon.
Oh, Caroline.
We've waited so long. Oh.
I'm back.
Brian!
You said he was in Canusi.
He is. He was. A week's interfaith golfing in the Highlands.
Well, darling, I've got Alec with
They're
me.
both here.
Get dressed.
I can't.
Why not?
Strip hide and seek, remember?
At least put your pants on.
They're in the vestry.
Then put your vest on.
It's in the pantry.
Are you upstairs?
What am I going to do?
Squeeze into my ottoman.
I beg your pardon.
In here. Now.
Oh, I'll never get in there.
Just shut up and...
Oh!
There you are, darling.
Tony gave me the all clear, so I quickly changed into my best suit, well, my only suit, and hurried over to Lisa's place.
Gina hates me already. Imagine what she'll say if I turn up late.
Gina was Mark's former wife, and mother to his daughter,
Come on.
but he deserted the family for Lisa.
The light's green, moron.
We tailgated every car to the A40, at which point Lisa floored it and we took off over Notting Hill.
Thanks for coming, Charles. I know you're rehearsing, but I really appreciate the moral support.
Tony was very good about it.
Then I'm grateful to him too. Oh, I'm not looking forward to standing around eating canapes and trying to avoid the Medusa stare.
Where's the funeral being held?
Broadway,
Every actor's dream.
Worcestershire.
Swinging past a gated lodge, Lisa skidded onto a gravel drive and we joined a cortege towards a large manor house, which I took to be a hotel.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
You've got every right to be here.
Gina's the grieving widow and I've been cast as the Scarlet Woman.
You were Mark's partner.
That's not how the families see it. They never actually divorced. Oh, God, there she is. Look, you'd better go and pay your respects. I'll hang back.
Like the whistle.
What are you doing here?
I felt it only right to pay my respects. Also, the house is an arts and crafts Luction's masterpiece, and still in the family, so I'm hoping for a shufti.
Whose family?
Mark's.
What?
Charles, you're on.
What? Oh, hello, Gina. You won't remember me, but I came to your flat in Peckham once or twice.
Charles Paris.
You do remember?
I used to call you the milkman.
Why?
You were always turning up in the early hours with a bottle.
Very good.
I did crash on your sofa for a couple of nights.
17.
That's very precise.
You don't forget a thing like that.
Maurice Skellen, agent and personal management. We haven't met, but Mark worked with a lot of my top talent. And Charles, I'm so sorry for your loss.
My brain was still recalibrating and reassessing the Mark I thought I knew when a non-denominational celebrant kicked off proceedings.
Great to see you all and welcome to this joyful musical commemoration of the life of Mark Lear. If you'd like to follow me, India will accompany us on the hurdy-gurdy.
We passed through the kitchen garden, crossed the ha-ha, and climbed to the top of Mark's favourite hill. With the music and the straggling procession, it was all a bit Wicker Man, everyone clumping through mud, while I picked my way twixt puddle and cowpat.
Did I see Gina giving you a hard time?
There was a moment when I thought I might turn to stone. Is this really Mark's family home?
Where he grew up?
Wow.
Why the surprise?
He was always banging on about the over-entitled and privately educated. Now I discover he's a scion of the landed gentry.
Middle-class guilt. I suppose we're all guilty about something. Mark spent years trying to cover his tracks.
He worked with me. Who's the hurdy-gurdy waif?
India, Mark and Gina's daughter. Talented, but troubled.
She has just lost her father.
And has Gina for a mother. They say she can play any instrument she picks up.
Maybe we'll find out.
I know as much as you. In the end, Gina completely sidelined me from the arrangements.
At the summit, we gathered round a large flat-topped rock, on top of which was some sort of rig with wires extending to a small box.
This ceremony is not about a life lost, but a celebration of a life remembered. A life full of love, passion, and creativity. But he was more.
Not really. Your manor.
What?
The countryside.
I'm all about nature.
Good, because you've got some on your Chelsea boots.
What?
Shh.
As we prepare to commit Mark back to the universe, we'd like to take a few minutes for personal reflection.
Was that your stomach?
Death plays havoc with my digestion.
Ought to be a good spread.
Lisa brought me and she doesn't want to stay.
I can give you a lift back.
Oh, I might take you up on that.
And now, as Gina sends Mark home, let's raise our voices and join India on the lute as we sing his favourite song, Starman.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He told us not to worry, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile.
Back at the family seat, I loaded a plate and tucked myself away in a quiet little room to focus on the task in hand.
Did you use a ladder?
What?
I've never seen hors d'oeuvres stacked that high. It's not an eat all you can for a fiver joint.
Everything's in miniature. I'm a man, not a borrower.
Why, you're not used to all this fresh air.
Maybe the city boy can learn to love nature.
Nature already loves you. The back of your jacket's covered in organic matter.
Oh,
Oh, sure you've got enough, Charles?
If you'll excuse me, I think I'll help myself to a chunk of that delicious Stilton.
Did I see you arrive with that woman?
Lisa.
Friend?
Colleague. I've done a bit of work for her and her...
My ex.
Yeah. She just offered me a lift.
Where is she now?
I think she left after the ceremony, which was lovely, by the way, very moving.
Did you smell the whiskey in the air?
Whiskey?
Mark's ashes were dispatched along with a bottle of his favourite malt. Seemed appropriate.
Nice touch, your daughter playing the music.
Her way of saying goodbye. She's not spoken since it happened.
I suppose it's shock.
Typical of Mark. All this time I've tried to protect her.
Did she need protecting?
Emotionally. He was always a selfish bastard. I know you liked him, Charles. I liked him once until the scales fell away and I discovered what he was really like.
What was he really like?
A dreamer.
Well, I've known some charming dreamers.
Oh, he was charming enough. That's how I got sucked in. Probably how she did too.
Lisa?
If I didn't loathe her, I could almost feel sorry for her.
I got the distinct impression that Lisa was the driving force behind the company.
I'll bet. Mark would have had one of his big ideas and sat back and let her do all the donkey work.
Such was her disdain, I started to wonder if she'd arranged for the circumstances of his bizarre death.
He was always delusional. Walter Mitty meets Billy Liar.
I only really knew him at the BBC, and he was always good to work with. I know he got fed up with all the corporate management, but if he'd stayed, he might have been happier.
He didn't have the choice. He was fired.
Fired?
Let go.
He told me he left.
Of course he did. There was a round of redundancies. Mark was very much old BBC, so surplus to requirements.
Do you know if he'd made enemies?
He was always dishing the dirt on his colleagues, but that was Mark. Moan, moan, moan.
Did he ever mention a memoir?
The famous memoir.
So it does exist?
I didn't say I'd seen it. Be honest, Charles. Can you imagine Mark sitting down to write a book? Or a shopping list, for that matter?
Well, I've learnt so many new things about Mark today. I'm not sure I knew him at all.
Writing requires long hours, hard work and tenacity. Mark never had any staying power. The only things he went out of his way for were chasing women and the next drink.
When did you last speak to him?
The night he died.
Oh.
He was still at the studio. Sounded drunk, of course. He phoned to ask what India would like for her birthday before descending into the usual mawkish litany of regret, apology and self-pity. Of course, I'd heard it all before, so I didn't know he was going to do what he did.
The coroner said accidental death.
Maybe. It's a handy catch-all, especially for the insurance company. I just hope Lisa's not in a hurry for a big payout.
I doubt if it's crossed her mind.
Dear Charles. So clever, yet so naive.
If you hear anything about the insurance, will you let me know?
Sure.
This is very quiet.
It's electric.
Frances would love one of these.
Oh, happy to give her a test drive.
How much was it?
Just shy of 65,000. We've all got to do our bit for the environment.
I've got a Sainsbury's bag for life.
Get George Monbiot. You and Gina were very deep in conversation when I left you.
Gina thinks Mark may have killed himself.
The inquest said accidental death.
Yeah, I wonder.
Don't.
That studio was tiny.
Charles.
More a soundproof booth.
How many times?
It was also hot, windowless, the aircon was kaput, and the inside lock of that heavy door was broken.
Are you going to do this all the way back to
There
London?
wasn't even a socket to plug in a phone.
It was a tragic accident.
Or someone locked him in from the outside, someone who felt threatened.
Someone who knew about Mark's kiss and tell memoir.
Exactly.
Except no one's managed to confirm this elusive memoir even exists.
That is a slight flaw.
Or a gaping chasm.
But if it does exist...
The only thing this car hasn't got is an ejector seat.
If someone with enough to lose thought it existed, that might be enough motive to kill Mark.
You mean Bernard Walton, OBE, much-loved actor and cuddly national treasure?
We all know he's angling for a knighthood.
You said he wasn't in the studio the day Mark was mouthing off about his memoir.
Someone could have told him, and he's not as squeaky clean as his fans think. We know he smokes a lot of weed.
For his lumbago, we've been through this, Charles.
And he's long-term married, yet very close and friendly with a much younger actress in the show.
Which could be A, entirely innocent, B, a bit creepy, and C, unless Pippa makes a complaint about him, not a crime.
Okay. Freddie, then.
Much more of this, and I'm going to commit murder. I've given you the gossip on Freddie George. Way back when he was young and needed the money, he made some cheap porn. Tacky, sure, but once again, not a crime.
You're really not helping.
Good. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to luxuriate in 65k's worth of silence till we get back to London.
Fine. Have you got any music? Morris dropped me at the rehearsal room, just in time for me to run a scene of farcical misunderstanding between me, Freddie and Susie.
But if Gordon was in the Ottoman...
Which I was.
And Alec was in my own suite...
Which I was.
Where on earth was Brian?
In the library with a piece of lead pipe.
I'm serious, Brian. We're not playing Cluedo now.
I'll tell you where I was, Caroline. I was at the doctor's surgery, where you seem to spend most afternoons.
Are you ill, Caroline?
No.
You're not pregnant.
No.
Then she's having an affair with the doctor.
But it's a lady doctor. Oh!
You mean...
Well, Caroline?
Who'd like tea?
And freeze. Applause. Dim lights. Curtain down. Thank you, everyone. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
At the end of a day like that, I usually hit the nearest pub for several unwinders, returning home when fully unwound. Not anymore.
Welcome to Juice and Annie. I'm Baxter. You been here before?
No.
So this is how it works.
Do I have to know how it works? Can't I just order a juice?
Of course you can, man. What's it to be?
What's in an ass-kicking assassino?
My personal favourite. Juiced asparagus, kale and lime. Really fires up the immune system.
Okay, Baxter, fire me up.
You won't regret it.
I regretted it already. Hi, Lisa.
You got away without Gina turning you to stone, then?
Actually, we had quite a long chat.
Did she tell you what a monster I am?
We mostly talked about Mark. Gina also told me the insurance company are holding out due to the circumstances of Mark's death.
She thinks I'm after his money.
Well, I really couldn't.
Just because she's a greedy, grasping... All I ever wanted was Mark. Call me a silly romantic, but we agreed that his only beneficiary would be India. Gina can think what she likes, but it's all signed and sealed, so as far as I'm concerned, she can go to hell.
Signed and sealed sounded pretty cast iron, or copper-bottomed, one or the other. Either way, I spent a restless night obsessing about Mark's mythical memoir and wondering if it contained the name check of his murderer.
Morning, Freddie.
Kettle's just spoiled.
I've got my own fresh mint.
You put me to shame. How was your funeral? Not yours, obviously, especially if you keep drinking that stuff.
As funerals go, it was fine.
I get to attend rather too many these days.
You knew Mark from the BBC, didn't you?
Now you're asking.
I was, and he wasn't answering. Mark said you'd worked together.
If we did, it was donkeys years ago.
Maybe something you and Bernard did? When you were young and needed the money?
What are you after, Charles?
I do crosswords, and I get frustrated when I can't work out an answer.
To what?
I heard you and Bernard talking.
Eavesdropping?
We all know Bernard's angling for a knighthood.
You can't blackmail him, Charles. It's already out there.
What is?
The 87 Tory Party broadcast.
Well, yeah, that's pretty shameful, but I think you've got something even more damaging. A little sideline?
Someone's been looking for skeletons in cupboards. Now, come on, Charles. As you said, we've all done things when we were young and needed the money.
I worked as a stagehand on Cats.
Yes. Well, our little enterprise was better paid.
Porn movies.
Movies is a bit grand, although we had fun with the titles. My favourite was One Screw Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No. They were cheap and awful. No script, no plot, shocking production values, but they paid the bills.
Where did Mark fit in?
Well, he was BBC staff, but always up for a bit of moonlighting.
You're not telling me you used BBC premises?
Good God, no. Now, all we needed was a bedsit and some equipment.
Equipment?
For filming.
Oh.
Very innocuous stuff compared to what you can get today at the click of a mouse. Or so I'm told.
But enough to tarnish Bernard's image.
I might not have a gong for services to entertainment, but I've done all right for myself. If Bernard helps me out from time to time, that's down to his generosity. One old friend helping another. I've got nothing to gain from Bernard's fall from grace.
What about Mark's memoir?
Without wishing to speak ill of the dead, Mark couldn't find his fly with 2 hands on a map, let alone write a memoir.
Bernard's lucky to have such a loyal and discreet friend, especially now.
Now?
His friendship with Pippa. What?
Pippa's his goddaughter, you twerp. How do you think she got this job straight out of drama school?
Still smarting, I went outside for a breath of air. No one had called me twerp since a school assembly in 1965 when I recited the Lord's Prayer impersonating John Lennon. Hello, Gina.
Oh, please stop slamming things.
Sorry?
Not you. India's broken her silence and the floodgates have opened and it looks like I got it wrong.
What?
Mark phoned India from the studio. I mean, while he was actually, dying.
Why didn't India call the police?
He sounded slurred, so she assumed he was drunk. And from the things he was saying about being trapped, she thought it was just Dad doing his self-pity routine.
The boy who cried wolf.
Thing is, he wasn't alone.
What?
There was someone on the other side of the glass.
Did she say who?
Just one name.
The morning's rehearsal flew by on autopilot as I struggled to remain in the moment and not be distracted by the name Gina mentioned. Lunchtime was going to be thinking time.
I'm going to get a takeaway miso soup. Do you want one?
I've got some stuff to do, but if you're offering, I could go a red-hot chili ramen, extra chili. Do you want some cash?
When I get back.
Okay. Holed up in a quiet green room with a phone and decent Wi-Fi, I started to put 2 and 2 together, and before long, I found what I was looking for.
See the one show last night?
Damn, missed it again.
Bernard was on, and God bless him, ticket sales have gone through the roof. I thought we were going to have to paper the place with friends and family.
My wife's coming with our daughter and the son-in-law from hell.
Well, don't knock it. Every ticket counts.
Yours coming?
Not my parents' thing. Don't want them sitting there squirming with embarrassment.
I suppose one person's entertainment is another person's smut. It's like Bernard cleaning up the script.
Well, he had a point. You don't need expletives to get laughs, especially when you've got a family-friendly image to protect.
True. I suppose that's what you were doing.
How do you mean?
When you went back to see Mark.
Sorry, Charles.
You said you and Bernard go back a long way.
I don't follow.
All the way back to when he was young and needed the money.
Am I being accused of something?
To start with, I thought you were just trying to protect him, but when you said you'd started as an actor, I wondered if it was someone else you were protecting.
What are you on about?
Freddie told me about his little sideline and Mark's involvement. I think you were in those films.
What films?
Come on, Tony. The films Mark was going to list in his memoir. That's when you panicked. Your parents are very religious.
Leave my parents out of this.
Already said they didn't want you mixing with immoral theatrical types.
I said leave them alone.
Imagine how they'd feel if they discovered you'd been in Flirty Gary, Dogging Day Afternoon, and my personal favourite, Fiddling on the Roof.
You've got Mark's memoir.
No. I doubt it even exists, but who needs a memoir when you've got a phone? If your parents found out about your past...
Stop talking about my parents!
They'd disown you.
They're good people!
It'd kill them.
I'll kill you in a minute!
Like you killed Mark.
Oh, Tony!
1 chili ramen extra hot!
Scalded by miso soup, Tony was carted off to hospital and from there to a police station. With one director dead and his stand-in accused of murder, the producers decided to cut their losses, and one door did close before it opened. On the plus side, I'd stuck to Francis's health regime, and she came good about Torquay.
Didn't I promise you a good time?
You certainly did.
I'm coming on all from here to eternity.
Do you think Burt Lancaster and Deborah Carr with this cold?
We'll warm up if we move around a bit more.
Oh, moving around sounds good. Oh.
Charles?
Yeah, just keeping warm.
Oh, what?
Oh, something. Ah.
What?
It hurts.
Where?
Oh, you don't want to know. Maybe I'm rubber intolerant.
Let me help you up.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
Come on.
No.
Just feel the swell.
No.
Nearly up.
Francis.
Here we go.
Oh.
What
It's what we surfers call a wipeout. Oh, this wetsuit's chafing something rotten.
Oh, let's get you out of it.
Now you're talking.
Surfing's not really your thing. You've moaned and whined about this health machine, but all credit. You stuck with it.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you.
I think you deserve a treat.
Well, I was hoping.
Something naughty.
Naughty's good.
I mean, wicked.
Yeah.
Something truly sinful.
Are we talking venial or mortal?
How about fried egg?
Oh, make it 2.
Bacon.
Oh.
Sausage.
Oh.
Black pudding.
Oh.
Fried bread.
Oh.
Baked beans.
Yes, please, don't stop.
Mushrooms.
Oh.
Hash
brown. Oh.
In episode 4 of Charles Paris, Charles was played by Bill Nye, Frances by Suzanne Burden, and Morris by John Glover. Susie was Jan Ravens, Lisa Isabella Inchbald, Freddie Philip Bretherton, and Bernard Sean Murray. Tony was Clive Haywood, Gina Ellie Darville, the celebrant David Reeks, Baxter Adam Fitzgerald, and the waitress Kath Weir. Dead Room Farce was written by Jeremy Front, based on the novel by Simon Brett. The director was Sally Avens.